Welcome to my YouTube channel English Lovers by Honeydew. We see that the time is showing its color. Then I feel the time has shown its importance too. Keeping that importance of time in mind, I felt that why not to make a lesson on the time. In English grammar, this time is named in a different way. We call it tense. So today in this lesson we are going to learn about tense. So what I have done for today's lesson is I have made a presentation which is about the tenses and the aspects of the tenses. What we're gonna do in this particular video, we are going to see the sub tenses and even the kinds of sentences that we make in every of the tense. But in this particular video we are going to focus merely on one tense out of those sub kinds, that is present indefinite tense. So let's move on to that. What is tense? Tense is a grammatical word which tells the period of action verb. Action verb, you have to understand what is action verb. Action verb is a sort of work that is done in the sentence. For example, I go to the school. I go to the school. What is my action in the sentence? What is the work done in the sentence? I have gone to the school. Okay. Go as a verb shows the action. Okay. So that is an action verb. But in which time period it is, it would be clear only from the different tenses knowledge. Okay. And that tenses knowledge is going to tell us that how to describe one particular action in various kinds, and there are namely 3 periods of time that we deal with. Those are present tense, past tense and the future tense. So present tense, right at the moment we know that we are suffering from COVID-19. That is a present tense, or that is a present time we are going through. Then talking about the past time, we were actually very happy, we were just enjoying everything, but we were doing some mistakes also. And when we were doing some mistakes, we actually polluted the environment. We even trashed the animals, and we ill-treated the animals. Okay, that was a past time. We have done some good works also in the past. Okay, but future is in your hand. If we are going to get the vaccine and we are going to get rid of this problem COVID-19, hope so that all of the human beings in the future are going to make some change in their attitude towards the environment, the nature, and whatever the ways of nature are. And even we have seen that the nature has in the present time, even the nature has formed its own form by itself without even the help of the human being. We need not to plant we need not to plant the trees, or we need not to plant anything. Okay, we need not to worry about animals. Even the nature will take care of itself. If we are going to worry too much, then definitely our idea of coming to this planet would change. But those things are quite different one. Now we are going to talk about the tense. Okay, then talking about the first tense, that is the present period of time, that is present tense. So what is the present tense? When action happens in the present period of time, tense used to be the present tense. When a certain sort of, like right at the moment I'm teaching you, this action is going on in the present moment. Okay, I teach you regularly, that is a certain sort of category of the present tense. Now talking about the present tense, one thing should be clear to you: whatever is going on right at the moment, or right at the present time, then the tense for such period of time would be the present tense. We need to know that. But talking further about it, there are kinds of the present tense, because if we say all the kinds of the tenses are same, like all the present tenses are same, then we cannot recognize them clearly. If I say I am delivering a sort of video on tenses, right at the moment I'm doing so, can I say that I deliver the video on the tense? Yeah, I can say, but the meaning would be different. On the basis of that, we are having certain categories of the tenses. Okay, so what are those categories? First is indefinite. So having the meaning of indefinite in the mind, from the word itself we can say that surety or unsurety. Okay, but indefinite in the present tenses case would be the one when a sort of action is going on the regular basis. If we do the action on the regular basis, okay, it is a repeated action that we are going to discuss later on. Okay, so we are having the first category of present tense, that is the indefinite. Then second category is continuous tense, which I told also, like I am delivering the video or delivering the lecture on present tense or the tense. Okay, then perfect. Okay, one thing would be perfect only when it is complete. So same way, when the action is complete in the present moment, when the action started from the past, then that would be known as the definitely the present perfect one. Perfect continuous when it is complete also and continued also, that would be the present perfect one. That depends upon the period of time which we are dealing with, but the basic meaning would remain the same for all the kinds. What else are we going to do in this particular video? We are going to see four set of sentences which are possible by the indefinite. Okay, let me have the pointer on. Yeah, the kinds of present tense indefinite. Yeah, in this video we are going to talk about indefinite, present indefinite only. We are not going to talk about continuous perfect or perfect continuous, but we are going to fully study this indefinite. Okay, and what are the four sentences? That is the next thing. We are having four sentences. First is affirmative, or which is also known as declarative. So second is negative. Affirmative and negative are the kids of one particular father, that is assertive sentence. Okay, so assertive sentence has two categories. One is affirmative and other is negative. So like both have the different structure. If both have the different structure, then it is for sure there would be the meaning also to be different. Okay, declarative means we are declaring, we are simply saying something in affirmation, saying yes. But negative means we are saying no. In the statement it would be some sort of negation used. Then the third one would be interrogative. Interrogative would be the one when we are asking a question from someone by the use of helping verb or with the use of WH word. Then comes a negative interrogative, where is negation also as well as interrogation also. Now moving further, we are having here the chart of the present indefinite tense. Here we are having the structures given over here, like when we are making the affirmative sentence. We talked about the different sort of sentences. First is affirmative, then is negative, then is interrogative, and the last one is negative interrogative. But when we talk about them particularly, like separately, we have to see the basic structure. We are having the subject in the sentence. Whenever we write a sentence, we have a subject to write it with. Then we are having a form of verb or the action that has happened. Okay, then we are having object. It is not compulsory to have the object in all the sorts of sentences. There can be the possible chances there where we are not having it. Now here we are having the subject plus verbs first form plus object. So that is the basic structure for the affirmative sentence. For saying yes in the sentence, like I go to the school, then that is the affirmative sentence. I go to the school. Okay, I is the subject, go is the verb, and to the school, that is the rest of the statement. Okay, so you have to see that also, like we have done active passive. In that active passive, I told you how to find out the object, whether the object is present in the sentence or not. I need not to repeat that thing, I think so. Yeah, now the second sort of sentence that we can write, that is negative sentence. And the structure for the negative sentence is like subject comes first, then comes a do or does. Do or does is auxiliary verb. When we write any of the negative sentence, we need the helping verb. So in case of the present indefinite tense, we use do or does. Okay, do for plural and does for singular. And whenever we write the negative sentence, after the helping verb there would always be a negation sign when we write only a negative statement. Then subject plus do or does plus not plus verbs first form. Okay, then we are writing the verbs first form, and we are not using as or yes with that. I'll explain that later on. Okay, plus object. Okay, we are writing that is there. We are going to use full stop again for the negative, because those both of them are the categories of assertive sentence, and assertive sentence used to carry full stop at the last. Okay, in the first case, we are using verbs first form, and s or es is getting used accordingly. The subject, if the subject is singular, we are using s or es. If the subject is plural, we are not using s or es with the verbs first form. Okay, then when we write interrogative sentence, we have to exchange the places of subject and the helping verb. Helping verb would come at the first place. Whenever we write question or say a question, we keep the helping verb in the beginning, and then we write the subject. Okay, then we write the main verb, that is verbs first form, and we don't use s or es in case we are using do or does in the statement. Remember that, whether it is negative sentence, interrogative, or negative interrogative, when we are using do or does, so the relation would be very important or significant of the two things, subject and do and does. Okay, we need to see that. In that case, we need not to put s or es with the main verb, verbs of first form. Then we are writing object or whether whatever it is given. Okay, then question mark. Okay, then we write the interrogative statement. We can write interrogative statement by wh word too. When we write it with the wh word comes in the beginning, then comes do or does, and then comes a subject, then comes a main verb, verbs first form, then comes a object. Don't worry, we are going to look at the examples of each of the category. Okay, then comes the fourth one, negative interrogative. In case of negative interrogative, I'll mention you that you can practice it by the use of the negative sentence. In the interrogative statement, I told you we have to just exchange the places of the subject and the verb. Same here, if you are going to keep negative statement in the mind, then you have to just exchange the place of do or does and the subject. That's it. Then rest of the thing will remain the same. Do or does can come at the first place, accordingly the subject, whatever the subject is. Then comes after the subject would be not. So rest of the thing will remain the same. We are not going to change the places of any of these. After the subject there would be negation sign. Then would come the verbs of first form. Okay, that is the main verb in the sentence, that is action verb in the sentence. Hope so, like I'll get the time, and then definitely I'll make the video for particularly the verb. Okay, then for that video I would definitely get some time for sure, because that would be far better. Okay, then this is the way to write the negative interrogative sentence. But let's move on to the first category. Okay, yeah, definition. Definition of the present indefinite is like present indefinite tense is the one which represents an action which is regular, which happens repeatedly, or which is normally happens, or which is true, which is universal truth, Okay, what is the universal truth? Like Earth revolves around the sun. That is a universal truth. So such statements used to carry the present indefinite tense. Those statements are said or written in the present indefinite tense. Then second thing that you need to carry in the mind, or you have to keep in the mind, that is we always use base form of verb. That is the first form of verb in the present indefinite tense. In case of the third person singular number, like when the subject is singular and it is third person, we use as or es with it. Okay, as or es with the verb. I'll tell you how. Okay, then basic structure: subject, verb, object, we have already discussed. With singular person third person pronoun, singular third person pronoun, we are using as or es. Now where to use as or es, you can we are going to discuss that, don't worry. Okay, like first example for the same is I write articles. I is the subject. Okay, I is a singular subject, but still it is exceptional case. I and you both are exceptional cases. If both are exceptional cases, with exceptional cases we use plural verb. So write is the plural verb, we are not using s or es with it. I write articles on different topics. Okay, then comes he reads. He is the singular subject and it is third person, so with the read we have used s. Okay, then various kinds of books, that would be as it is. You have to see that whether the connection between verb and the subject is right or wrong. Okay, here we are using as with the d. Okay, because it is ending with d. But if the verb is ending with some other words, other combinations like ch, sho, double s, x, then we are using es with that. These are the exceptional cases. We hope so we are going to see that in the slide. Okay, then they is the plural third person, but with the plural one we are going to use plural verb. We are not using s or es with it. That is the basic thing about the present indefinite simple sentence or affirmative sentence. Then you see the next example: she is the singular subject, she is third person singular. That is why with prefer we have used s. That is the main thing that you need to keep in mind. Then you see he. This is one of that example that I wanted to show. After o es is to be applied. I told you that. Okay, he is the singular subject. Okay, and with that one we know that we have to use s or es. But how we decided s or es? If the verb is ending with o, okay, sh, double s, okay, x, ch. If such are the last words of or last combinations of the verb, then definitely we are going to use es with that. Okay, then rest of the thing would remain the same. Here you see the other two examples. We is the plural subject, but it is first person plural subject. Then again no s or es with it, simply come. Okay, one thing I would suggest, that forms of verb should be clear to you. Verbs first form, second form and third form. In grammatical term we say present form of verb, past form of verb and past participle form of verb. And if we say v1 plus ing, that is known as the present participle form of verb. So we should know the grammatical names also. I would suggest you to have the knowledge for the same. Then you see this: you fight. You and I told you those are exceptional cases, and with them we are using plural verb. See, what is the difference between a noun and a verb? See, when we add s or es to the verb, that becomes singular, but when we add s or es to a noun, it becomes plural. Very interesting it is. Then you see, yeah, these are the examples when we see the present indefinite in the state which presents the state or the state of action. Okay, When we are not seeing any action going on, we cannot say that I am a teacher. If I say I am a teacher, there is no action going on. We are not performing some certain sort of action, but we are talking about somebody's state or somebody's occupation. Okay, I am a teacher. So when helping verbs are getting used as the main verb, then we say that is presenting the state of action. Okay, when in the present time we are using is, am, are, or like we'll see, you see here in present simple, with he, she, it, the verb have has the form has. With the singular one we use has, and with the exceptional cases like I, we can use have. I have a pen, we don't do any action here. He has a pencil, we are not doing any action. He is not doing any action. So simply we are talking about the state. Okay, that is why. So there has and have are the first form of verb. Had is the second form, had is the third form. When helping verb are used as the main verb, then has and have are first form of verb, had is the second form of verb, and had is the third form of verb again. Then you see there are some certain examples. She has a book, she reads it. So this is again the same example. In simple present, the verb be has the form am, I for I, and is for he, she, it, and are for we, you, they. So for for your example, for your example's sake or for your information sake, I'll let you know that is, am, are the basic form of verbs for be, and we know that be, was, been. Be is first form, was a second form, and been is the third form. When the helping verbs like is, am, are used only as the action verb, then or not action verb actually, which presents a state of action, those are not doing any sort of action, but presenting the state of action. So state of somebody. Okay, we are doctors, she's a student, I am a senior sister. So all these examples are telling us about the state. We are not seeing any sort of action. These are first form of verb even for the helping verbs when are used as main verb. Remember that. Now you see, when a verb is having a word carry. Okay, we are going to see the example. Yeah, carry, carry, it is ending in y. In that case we are not using s or es with the singular subject, we are using ies, because y would be changed into ies. Okay, she carries a bag. Okay, we cannot say she carry a bag. Carry would be used when there is plural like they. In such case we are going to use carry, they carry a bag. Now like second example, to study, again it is ending with y, it will change into ies because the subject is singular. Now for fly also, an airplane, airplane is an example. Okay, singular subject, y is changed into ies just because the airplane is singular airplane. We are not saying airplanes. Okay, airplane is actually American word, aeroplane is a British word. Now moving further, we're gonna see that when to use the present simple. This is quite an important thing we all should know, and where to use the present simple. You see, we use present simple when we talk when we want to talk about the fixed habits or the routines. Okay, we have discussed a little bit of it, repeated actions or unchanging situations. Okay, or emotions and wishes and likes or dislikes. Whenever we are presenting all of them, like even in your IELTS exam, when we are presenting our likes or dislikes, we are using the present indefinite for sure. Okay, whenever we are trying to show our emotions and the wishes, okay, there also we are using present indefinite tense. The combinations and the structures and everything gotta be used would be present simple. Okay, Then present simple is used to express first thing in the general truths or the scientific facts, like which is always true. Water boils at 100 degree Celsius. That is scientific fact, something which is proven fact, which cannot be changed, which is the truth. Okay, so then the human body contain 206 bones. Okay, 206 bones. So that is also a universal, not universal truth. That's a scientific fact. We have found it out that the human body used to have it, like 206. Then that is there also we are using present indefinite, contains. We are using boils. We are using. Okay, accordingly the singular or the plural subject. Here human body singular, water is also, you know, something that happens regularly in the present, like which happens on the regular basis, habit or routine. Kate goes to dance club on Sundays. Okay, that is the habit of Kate, or we can say that the routine of Kate to go on to the dance club on Sundays. And I play football every weekend. That is also right. That is the right example for habits and routines. Now we're talking about something that is true in the present, unchanging situations and permanent state, like something which is never going to change or which is going to change, but right at the moment it is permanent. Like Paris is the capital of France. It can change, but right at the moment we cannot say that it would change. It is unchanging thing. It is permanent state. So I am a student. Right at the moment I am a student. Okay. Later on in the future I don't know what I am going to be. But right at the moment I know that what is truth and what is permanent. And he lives in London. Right at the moment, you know, the permanency is in London. So then you see we are using the present indefinite for the fixed arrangements and the timetable events. Timetable events like exam starts at 9 a.m. That is a very good example for the timetable or the fixed arrangement. It is arranged like that exam would start at 9. Then this train leaves at 6:30 a.m. So again it is a timetable event. Okay, the train has been scheduled to leave at 6:30 a.m. Now fifth one is very important, because that is also good for the one who are just doing listening test in IELTS, because instructions and directions are told there too. Okay, open the packet, pour the content into the hot water. So open the packet, it is imperative sentence somehow, but verb is to be seen. Opens the packet, we cannot say that here. Open the packet, pour the content. In case of imperative sentence also we use like that. Okay, and even when we know that we are giving instruction or the direction, when we are talking about some way to be found, you take number 6 bus to Watney and then number 10 to Banford. So a sort of direction is told, but not the direction, but only the number of buses we have to change, but still it is a sort of instruction given. Okay, then something in the future, after time words like when, after, before, when these words are getting used in the sentence, or even if and unless is getting used for the conditional statement, I'm telling you that if one particular clause is carrying the future tense, other would be carrying the present tense, present indefinite one. Okay, you can keep it for sure. Okay, there would be some sort of conditions for the same. We will discuss that in the different other lectures. Okay, now you see, like to make the negative sentence we need do as a helping verb. Okay, it is our helping verb. Then it is used with the plural subject, I told you, and I and you are the exceptional cases. With them also we'll use do. Okay, then does would be used with the singular subject. And then the negative questions normally express a surprise. Doesn't he work? Yeah, it's a surprise. Yeah. Then we see we have to focus on this. How to write the negative sentence? Subject, do or does, plus not, plus verbs first form, and no use of s or es. Okay, never use s or es in that case, because it is already getting used in do or does case. Okay, then focus on this structure. Okay, then you'll be able to make sentences, negative sentences, and for sure please practice that. Okay, then you see examples. He does not. Why does came? Because subject is singular. He is the singular subject, third person singular subject. How to find first, second, and third person? I am the speaker, I would be the first person, you are the listener, you are the second person, and whom we talk about would be the third person. For sure that would clear your query, that what is first person, second person, third person. He does not work at home. We don't know like where he is, and we are talking about the person. That is why he is the third person singular subject. It is singular, that is why does is getting used, and there is no s or es with this verb, because we are writing the negative sentence. So what is the basic structure? Subject plus helping verb plus negation sign, then the main verb, then the rest of the statement. Then I, exceptional case, that is why do came. Okay, plural verb. Not with exceptional case means like I would be considered as the plural one. Okay, plural subject, that is why s or es is not getting used. So then they do not. With they, we know that they is used for the plural third person, that is why do is getting used. Do not. Remember that whenever we are writing the negative statement, then we are going to use negation sign with helping verb. Remember that when we are writing the interrogative statement, we are going to see that we are not going to use that one. Okay, then rest of the they do not check their work on time. We need to see the whole sentence. Okay, then you do not like his behavior. You do not like his behavior. You is exceptional case, and that is why do is getting used, and then with that we are using not, negation sign, plus verbs of first form like, liked, liked. We know that. So like is getting used. We are not using s or es just because we have used helping verb. If helping verb is getting used, we are not going to use s or es with the main verb. Yeah. Now moving further, you're going to see examples for the interrogative sentence. You see here, first is you have to see the structure. Does, subject, verbs first form, object. There is no negation sign here. Why? We are writing interrogative statement. We are asking a question in affirmation, not in the negation. So it is not negative interrogative but only interrogative. So I told you there are two methods we can write the question with. One with the WH word. WH word are many. Why, when, where, how, what. Different are the different WH words are there. But basically when we write the question, does he work at home? This is the way we write it. Why does is getting used? Because the subject is singular. Only the places are inverted. Helping verb came first and the subject came at the second place. Verbs first form is used as it is. We are not using not in that because we are not writing negative interrogative. So at last there is a change that we are writing interrogative sign because we are writing interrogative statement. That is why we are asking question. What is one more difference between WH word type of question and helping verb type? Helping verb type of questions would be answered in yes or no. Does he work at home? Yes, he works at home. Okay, if we say why does he work at home, we have to give reason for the same. What does he work at home? What kind of work somebody is doing, then you have to tell accordingly. WH word is different one. Okay, but what is the difference, like what you have to do extra? You have to put that WH word in the beginning if you want to ask some question by the use of WH word. Okay, why does he work at home? Rest of the structure would remain the same. Okay, so remember one thing very very important about the interrogative statement, that is helping verb will come first, then will come the subject. Okay, do I call you. Do I call you? Okay. No, you do not. Okay. Or why do I call you? Somebody is not aware that somebody called someone, and the person is not aware by himself or to himself, like you know whether or for what somebody has called someone. Then do they check their work on time? So all the structures are talking about this stuff, like all the structures in the sentences are same. So you have to remember one thing: if they is getting used, they is plural, do is used. So that depends upon even what are we using. Are we using noun or a pronoun? If we are using the noun, for that also what we are doing, we are using uh, if the singular noun is getting used, does. With the plural noun we are using do. That would be the same. Do you like his behavior? Again, the same example. You is exceptional case, that is why do is getting used, and interrogative statement is written with the do in the beginning, or the helping verb in the beginning, and then the subject is to be written, and the main verb is verb's first form. I'm repeating that. Okay, remember that. Then comes the next one, that is examples for the negative interrogative. Now we are going to look at the questions or some statements which would be talking about the negative interrogative structure. Now you're going to see that uh, you know yeah, this is a chart, and the last structure that you have to focus on: do or does, then subject, then not. We are keeping here not. From the negative sentence it is quite clear, we have replaced these two. Okay, we have just changed or exchanged their places. Do or does came at the first place and subject came at the second place, negation sign as it is. Then if you're going to practice more, then you will be able to understand. Okay, then here some examples are given. Yeah, if you're going to look at them, then definitely I think it would be clear. Does, just because he is singular. Does he not? So that thing would not be replaced anywhere, because negative intro. Does he not? And even the meaning would be different. Does he not work at home? Somebody is asking about it. Okay, yes or no, again answer would be yes or no, but the structure you have to keep in mind, and this combination: subject is singular, that is why does. Here subject is I, exceptional case, that is why do. Okay, subject is plural, that is why do. And then not would remain there only. If we are keeping verb here, check would come. Do they check not their work? That would be wrong. Okay, here not would come first, then would come the main verb. That means after the subject you're going to put the negation sign in case of the negative interrogative statement. Okay, and do accordingly you. Okay, you is exceptional case, that is why do is getting used. So then rest of the thing: not like his behavior. Then that's it for this lesson. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned for the rest of the lesson on tenses, and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon, which is not written over there. It is not written over there, but hit it. I love that thing when you hit the bell icon and would get the new updates, and I will get the motivation, and definitely I'll keep on updating the lessons until or unless you are giving me the motivation. I need motivation. Thank you very much. God bless you, and bye bye for now. Okay.